Hi everyone, it's Chris. Welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me today. I thought I'd share with you some stuff that I've been playing this week, and a real mixture. That's why this video is entitled "And Now for Something Completely Different," because I just was plucking out of my collection lots of different albums and lots of different styles just to kind of mix it up a little bit. I've got a fairly eclectic taste and quite a fairly eclectic collection, and I haven't bought a huge amount of records in the last few months, and so I'm really diving into what I've got, and I do like to listen to a variety of different stuff. So I think this little stack of 10 albums or so really shows that to the fore, I think. So the first album I played this week is an album that I've had for a little while, for probably about 6-7 years, and I don't know why I haven't played it more often, because it's absolutely brilliant. And when I played it, I thought, why haven't I? Why haven't I played this like every week? It's fantastic. And it's Movement by New Order. This is their debut album as a band that was born out of the ashes of Joy Division. In fact, the band is obviously Joy Division without, sadly, Ian Curtis. It's produced by Martin Hannett, who produced the 2 Joy Division albums, and there's lots of kind of sounds in this album which are very similar. Bernard Sumner, Peter Hook share the vocals. I think Peter Hook only does a couple of songs. He does certainly one that I love, and that's the opening track, Dreams Never End. But I love Senses, I love Chosen Time, I love them all. Denial is fantastic. This is a brilliant album, and I don't know why I don't play it more often. Absolutely fantastic. So it was a great way to kick off this week's listening. I moved on to something a lot less dark and much kind of poppier, really. This is the third album by a band that are often seen as a kind of hugely influential band, although they weren't massively successful, I don't think. Lots of people talk about their debut as being their classic, and that's called Real Life. The band is Magazine. Their second album, which was Secondhand Daylight, which I have streamed, is quite dark and it's quite a difficult listen, I think. And this is much poppier. This is their third album, The Correct Use of Soap. And I really enjoyed this album. I really did, especially the last track, a song from Under the Floorboards, which I think is fantastic. And one of the things that for me that stands out on this album is the really innovative guitar of John McGeoch. Now, he must have been hugely influential on a lot of people. Maybe people like Johnny Marr, for example. He just is a great guitar player, really adds to the sound. I think this was the last album he did with Magazine before moving on to Susie and the Banshees, but a great player. And they do an interesting version of Sly and the Family Stones, Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again. But it's a really good kind of poppy album, but a kind of bit alternative, bit kind of post-punky. It's a really interesting album. Enjoyed that. And now for something completely different. This is a double anthology, Duane Allman. Now, obviously, Duane Allman was the guy who, alongside his brother Greg, started off the Allman Brothers, a really fantastic kind of southern rock jamming kind of band who did that fantastic album, one of the best live albums, live at Fillmore East. But Duane Allman was a sought-after session player. Now, sadly, he died in '71, just a couple of weeks, I think, after Fillmore East was released. He died in a motorcycle accident, and a real loss to music. He was a gifted musician and played with lots of people. He played with Wilson Pickett, Aretha Franklin, loads and loads of different people, and some of those songs are on here. So he plays it with I think with B.B. King on here. He does a B.B. King melody. I can't think who that's with, I'll check. But he's with Wilson Pickett on here. He does a version of The Weight with Aretha Franklin, which is fantastic. No, the B.B. King melody is not with B.B. King. It's with the band called Hourglass, which was the band he was in before the Allman Brothers, which is a really good one. There's a song on here called Going Down Slow, which is the Jack Dupree song. There's a wonderful version of that. Plays alongside John Hammond and also alongside Boz Scaggs. And there's a song on here called Low Me a Dime, which is a Fenton Robinson song, but it's an extended version of that song done by Boz Scaggs. And the guitar work at the end of that song is absolutely off the chart. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. And this has got some Allman Brothers stuff on it as well. It's also got a couple of unreleased things by Derek and the Dominoes, but it also includes Layla on it as well, because obviously he did the slide guitar. The main guitar riff is really done by Duane Allman on that song. So what a talented man, what a loss. There is a volume to it. It's not as good, but it just shows how sought after he was as a musician. And now for something completely different. The Housemartins, London Nil 4. London Nil Hull 4. This is I love this album. It's just a really happy album. You know, Happy Hour, Think for a Minute, Sheep. Some great songs in here. Get Up Off Our Knees. That's just a brilliant pop song. And I think the two guys, the main guys in here, Paul Heaton and Stan Collymore, they just have this kind of knack of writing really infectious, upbeat, happy kind of songs. Some of the lyrics maybe aren't always happy, but the kind of upbeat nature of it is, and it's a really fun listen. And that's the Housemartins, their debut album from, is that not about 1980? I just started work, so it's about 85, 86, something like that. Yeah, good album. And now for something completely different. This is an album I'm very familiar with, but I haven't played it for a very long time, probably because I am very familiar with it, and you probably are as well. And it's the groundbreaking album that is Nevermind by Nirvana. This is just a superb album, brilliantly produced. Smells Like Teen Spirit obviously opens it up, and I remember hearing that. I just got married, so it must have been about 1990, 91 this album came out, and I thought, what is that? And you know, at the time we were having lots of hair metal, and rock was crap at that time, and suddenly this lot came along with Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and those kind of bands. But you know, In Bloom, Come As You Are, which rips off 80s by Killing Joke, which rips off Life Goes On by The Damned, but that's a brilliant song. Breed, Lithium is fantastic. Polly is fantastic. I mean, it's such a brilliant first side, it's unreal. Territorial Pissings is so heavy. I love Stay Away, On a Plane. Oh my God, I hadn't forgotten how good this album was, but everyone was out and I really cranked it up. It's a really heavy album, absolutely brilliant, enjoyed that. And now for something completely different. How about the debut album from Dexys Midnight Runners, Searching for the Young Soul Rebels. This is good fun as well. Again, this reminds me of sixth form days, into university days as well. So Gino is on here, which is obviously one of their classics. I love Tell Me When My Light Turns Green. That's great. There My Dears, fantastic. I think that was possibly a single. Thankfully Not Living in Yorkshire, It Doesn't Apply. Great song. And the opening song, which formerly was called Dance Starts, which was, I think, one of their first singles, but it's called Burn It Down on here. It starts off with a radio tuning in, has Smoke on the Water, then it goes to Holidays in the Sun, then it goes to Rat Race by the Specials, and then in comes Kevin Rowland, and off they go with Burn It Down, which is just a fantastic way to start an album. And that's a great album, real horn-driven, soul-influenced album, but really good fun. I love it. And now for something completely different. Metal Explosion. This is a BBC Friday Night Rock Show album done on BBC Records. It's got some really good songs on it, actually, really good songs. Soldier by Moore is half decent. Leo the Jester by Money is pretty average. A version of If You Believe Me by Gillan, which is their kind of bluesy song, which lots of people don't like, but I do, actually. Extermination Day, which is an on-album track by Angel Witch. And for me, Angel Witch kind of... alongside Diamond Head are the two quintessential sounding new wave of British heavy metal acts, and Extermination Day should have been on their debut, I think. Take It Like a Man, Samson, which has Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden on it. Johnny Cool by Praying Mantis, which was on Soundhouse Tapes Volume 2, which is half decent. But the last two tracks on side one are the picks for me. Visionary by Trespass, they were a great band, quite Thin Lizzy influence band, but a tremendous new wave of British heavy metal band. And the other song is Paper Chaser by Taurus, which is just one of my favourite new wave of British heavy metal songs. Absolutely great album, really enjoyed that, fantastic. And now for something completely different. Kraftwerk, Man Machine. Oh, this is a great album, isn't it? I don't even know when this is from. Is this from late 70s, isn't it? And it's just brilliant. It's just an exercise in perfect electronic pop. It's the model. I mean, it's almost like a perfect synth pop song. It's brilliant. The Robots is fantastic. Space Lab. I mean, this band were kind of seminal and groundbreaking, but they brought melody into electronic music, which bands like Tangerine Dream always struggled a little bit with. But this is a great album, fantastic, really enjoyed that. And now for something completely different. Ozric, Tentacles, and this is called Pungent Effulgent. Now this is a Somerset band from here where I live in the UK, and this is, I think, possibly their debut album, actually. Came out on Demi Monde Records, and if you like Hawkwind, space rock, kind of Hillage, that kind of stuff, then you're going to Gong, that kind of stuff, then you're going to absolutely love this album. There's a song on here called Dissolution, The Clouds Disperse, which is brilliant. It's the only song with a bit of lyrics. It's very Hawkwindy. It's got some brilliant guitar on it. The rest of the stuff is instrumental and very space rocky. But the opening track, Dissolution, is fantastic. Some of the titles are hilarious. Agog in the Ether. I mean, you know, you've got to be smoking something and with joss sticks on and all that kind of stuff to be really enjoying it. But I did, although I didn't have any joss sticks. And now for something completely different. The last album that I listened to, and this is a late night album. This is a classic jazz album, and it's just brilliant with the lights down low and maybe on the headphones or whatever. But it's Midnight Blue by Kenny Burrell. I don't know what guitar he uses. It's one of those big Gibsons, isn't it? But the tone on it is just wonderful. You know, if you want, you know, play me an album that just summarises jazz guitar at its best, and this is probably right up there with it, I would have thought. Kenny Burrell, Midnight Blue, Chitlin's Konkani, Wavy Gravy, Midnight Blue, Saturday Night Blues, wonderful stuff. There you go, 10 albums, kind of nice and varied. That's the stuff I've been listening to. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and I'm sure I'll be back sometime soon with another video. Cheers.